EtherCAT stands for Ethernet for Control Automation Technology. It's a standardized industrial Ethernet protocol designed for instant data processing and automation systems. Although it uses Ethernet as its transport, EtherCAT changes the way data moves through the network so control systems can run with fast deterministic update cycles. And that's exactly why EtherCAT is often paired with distributed I/O modules on the DIN rail, like digital input modules, digital output modules, and analog I/O, where you want predictable updates without network overhead. Now, traditional Ethernet is great for IT traffic, but it's not ideal for real-time control. In a typical Ethernet network, devices are addressed individually, data is requested and returned node by node, small updates still create overhead, and timing can vary depending on traffic. And that becomes a problem when you're dealing with real I/O points that need predictable updates. For example, if you're reading discrete field signals using an EtherCAT 2051 and driving outputs through a ECAT 2045, unpredictable delays can show up as sluggish response or inconsistent timing. So you can see that in automation, engineers don't just need the data, they need it at the right time. So EtherCAT solves this by using a processing on the fly approach. The master sends a frame that moves through each device in the network, and each device handles its data as the frame passes through. This is why EtherCAT is commonly used with modular EtherCAT I/O. For example, ECAT 2051 can report the status of its 16 isolated digital inputs via EtherCAT process data, and ECAT 2045 provides 16 isolated digital outputs and also indicates output status via LEDs. And if you need analog outputs, an ECAT 2024 provides 4 channels of isolated analog output. But the point is, EtherCAT is designed so I/O updates can happen quickly and efficiently in a single network cycle. And another practical benefit of EtherCAT is that these devices are often deployed using daisy chain connections, which reduces infrastructure and installation complexity. And that's exactly how the EtherCAT 2000 family is, installed by daisy chain connection with support for network topologies like star, line, or ring. So in a real cabinet, you might literally see a row that looks exactly like this. An ECAT 2051 for isolated digital inputs, an ECAT 2045 for isolated digital outputs, and an ECAT 2024 for analog outputs. And they're all DIN rail mounted and chained together as part of the EtherCAT network. Now, one thing that EtherCAT is known for is enabling right timing and predictable cycles in control systems. EtherCAT as a protocol supports advanced synchronization mechanisms, and timing matters most when you're coordinating actions across devices. And where all of this becomes very tangible is in motion control. So for example, the ECAT 2091S stepper motor controller is explicitly used as a standard EtherCAT slave that requires an EtherCAT master, and it supports free run, SM synchronization, and distributed clock modes. So if you're looking to build a motion application where timing and repeatability matter, a device like the ECAT 2091S is designed to operate with those EtherCAT synchronization modes. And separately, you can still use I/O modules like the ECAT 2045 and ECAT 2051 on the same EtherCAT network to coordinate limit switches, interlocks, or auxiliary outputs around the motion system. So let's make all of this really easy to understand and concrete. In a positioning system, you might use the EtherCAT 2091S to control a 2-phase bipolar stepper motor. Its 2 digital inputs configured as left and right hardware limit switches, and a module like the ECAT 2045 to drive external indicators, stack lights, or auxiliary devices using its 16 open collector digital outputs. And that's how a realistic EtherCAT architecture is meant to look, with motion and I/O all on one deterministic network. Now, EtherCAT is also used in applications where analog data needs to be acquired and delivered efficiently. For analog input, you could use the ECAT 2012H. This module has a 16-bit analog input. It's configurable as 8 differential inputs or 16 single-ended inputs. It supports voltage and current ranges, and it has process data access to input status. Then, if you need analog output signals, the ECAT 2024 provides 4 channels of 12-bit analog output with ranges like plus or minus 5 volts, plus or minus 10 volts, 0 to 5 5 volts, and 0 to 10 volts. So as you can see at ICP-DAS USA, the EtherCAT lineup is built specifically for EtherCAT based architectures, whether you're doing discrete I/O, analog I/O, or motion. Modules like the EtherCAT 2045, EtherCAT 2051, EtherCAT 2024, EtherCAT 2012H, and the EtherCAT 2091S are all meant to be building blocks engineers can deploy on the DIN rail and integrate using standard EtherCAT masters and configurators. So I think that we're ready to fully answer the question. What is EtherCAT? Well, EtherCAT is an industrial Ethernet protocol designed for efficient, real-time control, especially useful when you need fast, deterministic updates across many devices. And in practical systems, that often means EtherCAT networks built with modular hardware like digital inputs, digital outputs, analog inputs, analog outputs, and motion control. So if you're designing a system where timing matters, understanding EtherCAT and how to architect the I/O and motion layers around it is essential. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing, as it really helps out our channel. So if you need any extra help in setting up your next integration project, you can contact us directly at sales@icp-usa.com, or you can head straight over to our website at icp-usa.com. And if you'd like to take a deeper look at any of the products mentioned in this video, all of them will be linked in the description below. And lastly, if you'd like to learn more about the basics of industrial automation, we have an entire playlist dedicated to helping you learn more about industrial automation, and you can check that out right here. Thank you so much for watching.